Hey guys, I'm Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist, Nomad-capitalist.com, and the author of the book Nomad Capitalist on Amazon. I'm here in Dubai and I wanted to make a quick but very different kind of video for you today. I want to throw in a few things that I want you to think about if you're in a love relationship or if you're looking to be in a love relationship. And I want to share something that I've discovered that is potentially a very big problem for people when it comes to living the nomad capitalist lifestyle. But I also want to ask you a question, and I really want you to leave your honest thoughts and feedback in the comments section because I'm really curious what you think about this. Now, I recently helped someone create a plan to solve all of their problems. This is a person who was paying a lot of money in taxes, and they said, hey, you know what? I'd like to live somewhere else other than where I'm living now. By doing that, how can I make that work with lower taxes, and where do I go, and how do I structure my company? And we put it all together, and at the last minute, they said, my other half doesn't want to do what I want to do by moving, and so we just can't do it. Now, over the past couple of years, I've been really fortunate to help a lot of people actually put their plans into action. And what I found going through some data recently with my team was that a lot of the people that we work with are single. Now, I have never been married, so I'm an unmarried guy. I've been living this lifestyle for a long time now, and so I tend to think that we naturally attract people who are similar to us. That's why I work with US, Canadian, Australian citizens mostly. But there's another piece, and that is that we get a lot of people who come who are in relationships, who are married, and those are the people who actually take the important steps that need to be taken at a lower rate. They get the ideas, they say, hey, this is fantastic, we'd love to go out and do this right away, but there's fill in the blank of the excuse that's standing in our way. And what I've learned over the years in not only improving myself and improving my own results, but also studying people whom I work with and who I see in this field, is that there is a lot of excuse making, let's be honest, when it comes to executing nomad capitalist strategies. And I think that what I found is that love relationships are often one of the biggest impediments. Now, I'm not here to say that's a bad thing, and I'm not here to say that you should change your love relationship or you should do something about it, but I do want to hear your feedback and I do want to share what I found. One of the things that I ask people when they come to me is, how much tax are you paying? What are the challenges you're facing? And are you comfortable with those challenges? How comfortable are you being in the situation that you're in? And the example I often give is that plenty of people live in New York City, in California, in Tokyo, in Munich, in London, paying very high taxes. And if it was such a big deal, they probably would have moved. And so obviously for a lot of people, the high tax cost, the high cost of living, all the other benefits, so to say, that come with not diversifying, those things are okay with the average person. And so when someone comes and they're in a love relationship, there are often two potential problems that get in the way. Number one is the partner just doesn't want to move. They say, hey, if we have to move to save maximum money on tax, I just don't want to move. I like our lifestyle here. The kids are in school, no can do. The other part is where the partners can come to some kind of agreement. Maybe he wants to live in a couple different places and be more nomadic. She's looking for one base, maybe with a little bit of travel, and they don't understand that it's possible to live the nomad capitalist lifestyle that way. They think that you've got to be dragging a suitcase constantly, and they don't realize that you can find one place from a reduced number of places where you can go and live and have great tax benefits. Those are the two potential camps. On the single person side, what happens is sometimes someone who is single will meet somebody that they want to be in a love relationship with, and that person will live in the United States, or that person will want to slow them down. And I've actually seen people who have decided that they want the adventure, they want the excitement, they want the extra money, they want to fulfill their dreams, and so they end that love relationship. But others value the relationship over the potential tax savings or diversification. Now, I'm not here to judge which one is better. The romantic in me says that it's very important to have love relationships, and I'm not here to say break up with your girlfriend or divorce your wife just because you want to save some money on tax. But what I do think is important to understand is that, like the gentleman who came to me recently, he's going to pay probably an extra $2 million over the next decade, probably actually more, in tax because he and his love partner can't get on the same page regarding their Nomad Capitalist plan. Now, maybe that love relationship is worth it. In fact, I would say it is, or else you wouldn't do it. And so I don't want to put a price on relationships, but what I do want to suggest is that what are the ways that you could work with your significant other or future significant other to make sure that you're able to keep the benefits that you want in your life. And that's why I call this the Nomad Capitalist lifestyle. The person in my life, when we met, I was very clear about how I want to live. I was clear that there was some flexibility and that as I get older and as I establish our business more and more, that I actually want to spend fewer nights a year in hotel rooms like here in Dubai. I want to be more in our own homes, that we've decorated the way we wanted and that we just know how things run. But that I was never really going to want to settle down in just one place. And she said, you know, I believe that it's important to support you and I want to follow you wherever you will go. Now that brings up a whole separate set of questions, i.e., would many women feel comfortable living here in Dubai part of the time or in other Muslim countries? There are things that have to be discussed in relationships. But I want to ask you the question, what are the discussions you've had in your relationships? What are the roadblocks you've hit in your relationships? And what are the things that you foresee as potential challenges or ways to compromise in future relationships to make sure you can continue living the Nomad Capitalist lifestyle? I don't want this to be a cold, heartless approach. I want this to be a very loving approach because I think that having support systems in your life is very important, and I've learned that over the last 11 years of doing this. I also look at things and I say, millions of dollars are a big thing that can support relationships, support families, and actually lead to generational wealth that can make things a lot easier for not only you and your partner, but for potential children, grandchildren, etc. And so trying to find a way to get over any misunderstandings, find a way to compromise in relationships is very important because so often people can't do that and they end up missing out on something that they thought their partner wanted. So I want to hear your comments. I'm curious to hear where you're coming from this. I'd love to hear from men, I'd love to hear from women. I imagine there's probably some differences there. But how do we take the romantic, loving part that is important to have in our lives and also merge that with the pragmatic part? I'd love to hear your comments below. And if something from this video resonated with you and maybe you realize maybe now there's a way to make this stuff work in your life, then I'd love to hear about that too. If you're new to our channel, definitely make sure that you subscribe before you leave. We've got hundreds of videos to help you figure this stuff out, from legal tax reduction to second passports, ways to diversify your life and your wealth and your happiness. And if you've been watching for a while and you haven't been to nomadcapitalist.com, then I definitely encourage you to go over there and check out the different options and the different strategies that may be available to you and see what you can do to put them into your life.